Narito ang mainit na balita ngayong araw. Si Pangulong Coutinho Jr. ay naharap sa isang kontrobersya matapos mapahiyag dahil sa muna'y pagiging lulong sa alak ng unang ginang na si Liza Marcos. Ang insidente ay naganap sa isang pampublikong pagtitipon kung saan marami ang nakasaksi. Ayon sa mga ulat, si unang ginang Liza Tanas Marcos Smags ay tila lasing habang dumalo sa isang opisyal na kaganapan. Maraming netizens ang nagpost ng mga video at larawan sa social media na nagpapakita sa kanya na nahihirapang maglakad at nagsasalita ng wala sa ayos. Ang mga ito ay agad na kumalat at naging viral na nagdulot ng malaking kahihiyan sa administrasyon ni Pangulong Coutinho Jr. Sa kabila ng insidente, wala pang opisyal na pahayag ang Malacanang ukol dito. Maraming mamamayan at kritiko ang nananawagan ng isang masusing imbestigasyon at agarang aksyon mula sa mga pamahalaan upang mapangalagaan ang dignidad ng opisina ng unang ginang. Hanggang sa mga oras na ito, patuloy ang pag-aabang ng publiko sa magiging tugon ng Pangulo at ng kanyang pamilya. At yan nga ang balitang ating pagkakatutukan. Ngunit bago ang lahat, siguraduhin mag-subscribe at ihit ang notification bell para sa patuloy na pagtutok sa mga sulap ng bagong balita sa tunay na boses ng masa.
Nang maayos, because when they talk to God, they should be presentable in God's eyes. And later on, you heard what Carlo and Ma'am Nori said. The police arrived, and even without saying anything, without saying what their purpose was, they started scaling the walls. The security guard said, "I am not authorized. Can you please wait for our lawyer, so that the lawyer will be the one to talk to you?" What happened? Instead of listening, they scaled the walls, 3 ladders, ang mga staff wearing full battle gear, carrying M16s. I understand there was also a bazooka in Glory Mountain. After that, they were repulsed with the use only of a water cannon and the sheer bravery and force of will of the kingdom citizens. After the gate was shut, the lawyers arrived. After Nori talked to them, the lawyers arrived and they were able to negotiate. Attorney Kay Laurente and later Attorney Adam Jambangan were able to talk to them. And because the police were too numerous, do you know how many people there were? How many police? We saw 4 big buses which can house 60 people at least. 1 big truck, open truck. 2 police vehicles, yung open type. Several vans, SUVs, and pickups, all of which were used by the police. So you can imagine there were hundreds of policemen. Now, if the police did not answer the question how many there were hundreds. All right? And they were wearing, some of them were wearing riot, some of them had riot shields. There were staff in full battle gear and M16s. So, because of that, the lawyers decided to buy peace. Okay, we will allow you in. And when I arrived at around 5 a.m., because they said, wait for me. And so when I arrived at 5 a.m., I talked to the head who was handling this. And I said, okay, you are allowed to bring 16 people inside per area. 8 uniformed CIDGs and 8 full battle gear staff to accompany them. 4 areas. The first was JMC, Jose Maria College, and they searched from top to bottom. The second was the Bible School, where the pastorals lived. It was a dormitory. The third was the Kingdom, where they went around using vehicles because there's nothing in there. And the fourth, the hangar. So these are 4 groups of 16 policemen, accompanied by their lawyer and accompanied also by us. By then, it was already peaceful, thank God. But the damage had been done. Before I allowed them in, I read the warrant of arrest that they were serving from both the Regional Trial Court Branch 12 and the Regional Trial Court Branch 159, if I'm not mistaken, of Pasig City. And then after that, after the peaceful search, we offered them burgers and water and coffee, which they all refused. Where can you see a warrant of arrest being implemented in a very, very rough manner, turning peaceful, and then later on, the persons who were assaulted offering food and drink to those assaulting? Only in the kingdom. And after that, they left. And that is the story here in the central compound of the kingdom of Jesus Christ. There is another story in Glory Mountain. What they said was they were going to do a search warrant. Search warrant, not warrant of arrest. And what happened? Again, the people there said, please wait for our lawyers. They are just in Prayer Mountain, which is near. Please wait for them. Despite that, they brutally tore down the fence, handcuffed young people, traumatized them, threw them like they were dolls, and then searched the place. Now, the police are trying to spin, saying that no, it was peaceful and they tried to observe due process, but it was the kingdom citizens who broke the law. You will know the truth now. Tama, wasto, and tumpak. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Dinah. Isa din sa tanong ng marami sa ating mga kababayan na bakit humantong doon sa forceful entry sa mga compounds ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ. Gayong pwede namang gawin sa mapayapang paraan. Ang hiling lang ng mga security guards at representatives ng mga leaders sa mga compounds na ito ay hintayin ang mga abogado. Pero hindi ito ginawa sa Glory Mountain gaya ng ibinahagi ni Attorney Dinah. At ang tanong din sa ating maraming sa mga kababayan natin, bakit sabay-sabay sa 4 na compound sinerve itong warrant of arrest laban ni Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy? Nagkaroon nga ba ng failure of intelligence ng ating kapulisan sa pag-serve ito? Dahil ngayon lang nakita ng mga kababayan natin na kinailangan sabay-sabay sa lahat ng compounds para i-serve ito. Kasama po natin mga kababayan, si Attorney Torion para ipaliwanag ito.
Good evening, everyone. To answer the concerns of the members of Kingdom of Jesus Christ, the specific question as to whether or not there was failure of intelligence, I don't think there was a failure of intelligence. There was no intelligence at all. Why there was no intelligence? I would like to specifically refer to the contention of DOJ Undersecretary Raul Vasquez when he was interviewed on TV by Karen Davila, and when he asked what was his opinion as to the course of action taken by the police insofar as the operations were conducted as against KOJC Central and in Glory Mountain, and he answered that it was the discretion of the police in the usage of too much force. I would like to correct again, perhaps to infuse some intelligence to this answer of DOJ USEC Raul Vasquez by saying that there are rules of engagement in the implementation of the warrant of arrest. Note that there are 2 versions here. In KOJC Central in Buhangin, Davao City, when I arrived late, I have to ask for an apology to the members because I slept at around 2:30 a.m. and I had to agree to the incessant request of my little children to have rest and recreation in one of the hotels here in Davao City. I slept late, And that is why when I was awakened because of about 132 missed calls on my cell phone, I had to rush here in KOJC Central, and I was shocked because I was expecting to be served a search warrant, and what was given me, shown to me in a flash, without really letting me read it, is only a warrant of arrest. But in Glory Mountain, their story is they have a search warrant, which of which is true. I think the truth is they were only armed with a warrant of arrest. So if it is a warrant of arrest, the Philippine National Police knows that there are rules of engagement insofar as the implementation of the same. The ILG secretaries justified the usage of such unnecessary force, but I would like to politely remind him that under Rule 113, Section 2 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure, it is very clear that no violence or unnecessary force shall be used in making arrest. Second, and more importantly, the PNP is governed by the rules of court under Rule 113, Section 11, and there are clear elements there, 3 in fact, which they know. But when we reviewed the footage, it is a fact that at 3:50.54 a.m., they arrived and they brought with them outrightly 3 stairs, and one of the officers indeed talked to the security guard as if showing something, and when we verified, the security guard told him that he had no authority to give his consent or whatever because he is a mere security guard. But the policemen, if you can see the footage, were already scaling the walls. And what does that tell you? Ano pong masasabi natin dyan? Labag po yan sa rules of engagement. Because the first rule is, you should announce your authority and purpose for serving the warrant of arrest. And to whom should you announce it? To the owner of the house or to the administrator of the facility. We know that the administrator of all the properties of KOJC is the former President Rodrigo Duterte. Did they call the President Rodrigo Duterte prior to the service of warrant of arrest? The answer to that is no. And there is likewise a second requirement, that the person to be arrested is or reasonably believed to be present in the said house or building. Now, the operations were conducted simultaneously in 4 areas. KOJC Buhangin, in Glory Mountain in Kalinan, Prayer Mountain in Kalingan, Kitbugs in Sarangani Province. I don't think that Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy and 5 other co-accused could be at the same time in 4 places, specifically Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy. And there is the most important requirement that the police officers should have requested and been denied admittance. Footages would show, and that is res ipsa loquitur. The thing speaks for itself that they just right away scaled the walls. So what does that tell you? Well, I'm reminded of that leading case of which all law students know, U.S. versus Arceo, where the Supreme Court incantated that a man's home is his castle. And this is the most cherished right of all individuals in all civilized nations. We teach this to our law students. And KOJC Central is likewise the dwelling place of many members of the kingdom. So therefore, U.S. versus Arceo can likewise be applied by analogy here. Prior consent should have been secured before the forced entrance that was done. So therefore, if you will ask me, were the actions of the members in preventing the police to enter the kingdom facility proper? Of course it is proper. Why? Because there was violation of Rule 113, Section 11. Even if they were armed with a warrant of arrest, since the procedure was not followed, the consequent actions that they did were therefore illegal. So if it was illegal, then defense of property would therefore apply, and if defense of property would apply, the actions therefore of the members of KOJC are legal.
Yes.
So kung baga po, hindi po kami nag-file ng kaso ha. Hindi pa kami nag-file ng kaso. We waited because we have to weigh all the pros and cons on the matter. But we heard this afternoon, the Philippine National Police filed obstruction of justice as against the members of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ. Kayo po ang nag-una, hindi po kami. But we have yet to decide whether or not we will file cases. But the thing is, kayo ang nag-violate ng rules of engagement, hindi po ang members ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ. And kayo po ang nag-una, nag-file ng kaso, hindi po kami.
Yes.
Maraming salamat po.
Attorney Torion, mga
Maraming
kaibigan.
salamat po, Attorney Torion. Attorney Torion, kung makikita natin sa video, yung pagsirit nung tubig, kasi hindi natin pwede maihalin tulad siya sa term na water cannon. Kasi napakahingi na lang yung buga ng tubig. As a matter of fact, kahit nga yung mga workers ng Kingdom, kasama sa mga nabasa. This is also another proof na sa naging pahayag last April na isang mambabatas na tinawag na armed and dangerous si Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy at meron siyang private army. Isa po itong proof, mga kababayan, na hindi po ito totoo dahil kitang-kita niyo naman kung ano lang ang naging armas ng mga miyembro ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ. Ito ang kanilang pagkakaisa na handang mamatay para protektahan, panindigan ang tama dito, to protect the places of worship ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound, religious compound po yung mga kababayan. Hindi lamang dito sa Davao City, kasama na rin sa Malongon, Sarangani, sa Glory Mountain and Prayer Mountain. Mga kababayan, may mga katanungan po nga pinaabot ng ilan sa mga reporters po natin dito sa SMNI at later on may mga sasama po sa atin ng mga vloggers so na magpapaabot din ng kanilang mga katanungan. Pero isa po dito na nais pong tanungin po sa ating mga abogado dahil kahapon nagkaroon ng press conference ang Philippine National Police Region 11 at ang kanilang tagapagsalita na sa Police Major Catherine De La Rey ay nagsabi po na nag-request kasi sinasabi ng mga kababayan po natin na overkill po yung dami ng bilang. Doon po sa mga abogado natin, dahil tinatanong po ng ilan sa mga ating mga kababayan, bakit po ganun kadami po ang dapat na pumunta sa mga compounds ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ, gayong si Pastor lang at 5 ang kasamahan na kasama doon sa warrant of arrest. Ito po ba'y overkill? Ito po ba'y may paglabag sa batas? Or may violation ba ginawa ang ating mga kapulisan? Narito po yung ating abogado mga abogado po para sumagot po dito.
Well, as to the question on whether or not it was overkill, it was indeed an overkill and even illegal. Overkill in the sense that I have already cited Rule 113, Section 2, that there shall be no violence or unnecessary force. Si Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy naman is a religious person. The members of Jesus Christ who are co-accused with him are likewise not known to be violent persons. So therefore, the force that should have been exerted, if there was a need to exert the same, should be proportionate. This is the doctrine of proportionality. Whether you apply international law or merely criminal law, you would not really find any justification in the sheer use of force. No? Even quantity-wise, the number was really outrageous. Quality-wise, using Armalites, bazookas, and other armaments was likewise incongruous. So therefore, by any yardstick that you would apply, you can deduce a reasonable conclusion that force was therefore unreasonable and the sheer number was likewise excessive and therefore a violation of the very rules of engagement of the Philippine National Police.
Thank you very much, Attorney Torreon. Sinabi din po ni Police Major Kathleen De La Rey, and I quote, na quoting the Criminal Rules Procedure 113 Section 11 that police officers when denied acceptance, pagkatapos silang ipaliwanag ang rason kung bakit sila nandoon sinabi nilang maaaring i-break ang kahit anong enclosure or building. Bahagi daw yun ng kanilang trabaho kapag magsaserve po ng warrant of arrest. Pero po sa meron po tayong CCTV kung saan nagpapaliwanag po yung mga kasamahan po natin doon sa Glory Mountain na hintayin po yung abogado, at narinig po doon sa video na sinabi po ng SAF na mag-iintay pa, aabutin tayo ng bukas, sabi ng polis. At ang sinabi din ng polis na papasok compound sa Glory Mountain, hindi po search warrant, ay hindi po warrant of arrest isa-serve, kundi search warrant. Pero yung papel pala ay warrant of arrest. Yung pong pagsabi po nila sa ating makasamahan doon sa Glory Mountain na dapat pala ay warrant of arrest pero search warrant, may nalabag din po ba yung ating mga kapulisan?
Let me answer that. With respect to the manner of introducing what they are holding at that time, it's really a violation of the right of the people to be informed as to ano yung gagawin. Because when you say arrest, or if you are holding a warrant of arrest, there's a separate rule. And when you say you are armed with a search warrant, there is also a different rule for that. It's basic in criminal procedure that Rule 113 is for the arrest and Rule 126 is for the search. So in this case, you have to be clear in the first place kung ano yung dala ninyo, because we have different procedure to observe. In this case, there was a confusion because as far as the compound is concerned, we really verified, because ako yung unang nagtanggap ng document na ano yung meron sila, and they showed me a warrant of arrest. So it's very clear that with respect to the compound, warrant of arrest yung dala nila. But yet again, we received also an information that in Glory Mountain, iba yung sinerve. But I think it was a miscoordination, or there was no proper briefing on their part, kasi when our lawyers also verified the document that they were holding at that time, it's not a search warrant, it's a warrant of arrest. So meaning to say, we are only dealing with one instrument here, or one document here issued by Pasig City. And then, if that is the case, then we have to observe Rule 113 properly. Now, with respect to the second follow-up question, if there was a violation of Rule 113, or if there was a clear observance of Rule 113 Section 11, it's about the breaking, or the right to break in. It's the doctrine of breaking in. And it is a recognized exception only. It's not a general rule allowed, because you can execute or you can implement a warrant of arrest without doing force or without doing intrusion. In this case, we did not prevent them of implementing the warrant of arrest. Lahat kami uniform yung protocol na we will welcome the implementation. It's just that we need to have it organized, and we have to do it in a reasonable and proper manner, ang execution. What happened here was that sila yung nanguna. So, the breaking in happened when lawyers were not yet around. Yun yung klaro doon, because I arrived at 4:45 or 4:45 o'clock. And I was with Attorney Kay Laurente at that time. Prior to that incident, doon namin na-review sa CCTV footage na yun yung unreasonable intrusion na nangyari. everyone was not aware na may pumapasok na, or hindi talaga nakabantay lahat, kasi nga the intention of the people was to pray at that time, not to guard. So the reasonable reaction of the worshippers at that time was really to protect their dwelling. So with respect to if they are citing now that they just observe Rule 113 Section 11, I don't think they observe all the elements there. As what Dean Torion was saying kanina, the first element as well as the second element were not observed. And again, klaro dito sa Rule 113 Section 11 that you can only do the intrusion if you are refused admittance. In this case, walang refusal na nangyari. We just requested respectfully, the people requested respectfully na can you just wait for a little while because the lawyers are already coming so that you will be assisted and everyone will be guided in the implementation. That's why when we arrived, it's very clear. I talked to Lieutenant Colonel Lauren at that time that we are not, just to be clear, just to set things clear, we are not refusing the entry of the police forces. What we just want to do is that to observe properly the protocol. Okay, we have rules to follow and we have to observe that. That is why when the lawyers arrive, and I think they were conscious enough na nandun na yung mga lawyers, doon pa kumalma yung mga mag-implement ng warrant of arrest. But it was only later on na nung ni-review na namin yung CCTV footage na talagang prior to the presence of the lawyers, yung mga worshippers lang ang nandito, talagang they violated the rules. They violated the constitutional rule, particularly in Article 3, Section 2, in relation to Rule 113, Section 11. So that's why they cannot just use Rule 113, Section 11 as a weapon just to justify what they did. Wala. They violated it.
Thank you very much, Attorney Adam. May isa pong tanong dito, nakausap niyo po ba ang mga missionary workers ng KOJC, ang mga bata, mga kababaihan at mga matatanda in particular? Kamusta na po sila ngayon and how are they dealing with what happened on Monday? Lalo na't panay po bumabalik ang mga otoridad sa labas ng compound. Mayroon po bang suporta na binibigay o planong ibigay ang gobyerno dito since epekto naman ito ng operasyon na ginawa nila? Any sort of compensation at all from the government?
Okay, we were able to talk to the victims. I would say the victims and those who were the KOJs or those who were injured during the incident. However, although that the incident took place almost 3 days now, sadly, the experience, the trauma, it's still fresh with towards the KOJC community. And with this, there was even one incident where there was a female who were during sa pag-implement ng mga police officers yung naapakan yung face niya ng military boots when they were scaling the stairs in the gates. So while we were talking to her, she cannot stop crying, and some of those injured na mga members tuliro sila kausap until now. So sadly, when they heard or the presence of the police officers or even their sightings, it causes them unreasonable fear na parang wala na yung nagiging helpless na po yung mga victims ng or those who are injured during the incident. And as with respect to the monetary consideration or any aid, we cannot answer that. We are not in the position to answer that, though we haven't received any reports that they have merong support or aid from the government sa mga na-injured na mga members.
Thank you very much, Attorney. Another question dito, ano po ang masasabi ninyo sa sinabi ng Department of Justice na maiiwasan ang display
Magandang balita ang hatid namin sa inyo ngayong araw. Sa pagtatapos ng aming balitaan, nagbigay kami ng mga mahalagang impormasyon. Maraming salamat sa pagtutok at pagsuporta sa aming programa. Huwag kalimutang manatili sa mga susunod na araw para sa mga bagong balita at mga kwento na dapat nating abangan. Mula sa Boses ng Masa, magandang araw Pilipinas!